afternoon and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Longhorn Prepper here, coming to you on a beautiful Tuesday evening. Just got home from work and something bothered me pretty bad at work. I was sitting around the break room talking to a few buddies of mine, and we were just talking about how things were at the home life, and kind of got me to thinking, nobody cares. Because as we all know, it's holiday time. Of course, everybody, some people love it, some people don't. It's all your personal choice and opinion. It's fine by me. But around the holidays, you hang out with a lot of people you don't normally see all the time. And it got me to thinking, every time I would see someone I hadn't seen in a while, like my folks, my brother, cousins, whatever, be like, hey man, hey, how's it going? Shake your hand, give you a hug, how's it going? Oh man, did you see the Cowboys, or did you see whatever sporting event they follow, soccer match, baseball, hockey, who gives a shit? Oh, did you see this? Did you see that? Nah, I don't follow sports that much. I don't, a lot of things I don't do. But there's something wrong when the first thing out of your mouth when I ask you, how are you doing, is, what about your favorite sports team? No, bro. Why? Because Jerry Jones doesn't give a fuck about you. Your favorite sports player, athlete, doesn't give a shit about you. Does he care? Do they care if you're unemployed? Or if you're not, if you paid all your bills this week or you haven't? If you got gas in your car to make it back home or not? Or if you spent your last $20 to get that fucking turkey stuffing and mashed potatoes? They don't know that. They don't care about that. So when I ask you, how are you doing? I'm sincere about it. I mean it. How are you? How are you doing? How's your family doing? How's your wife and your kids? They're doing all right. I heard your wife got a promotion. Heard your son, got promoted to the 3rd grade, or your daughter made a cheerleading squad. How are they doing? And think about that. Especially right now, this time of the year, you're running into people you don't normally see all the time. You don't conversate with all the time too frequently, and see how they react when you interact with them. When you're like, "Hey, how are you doing? How's everything?" Oh man, did you happen to catch that play? Whoever your favorite sports star is, did you happen to catch that episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, or that episode of whatever cartoon little kids watch? And you'll know where the mindset is. Like, for example, everyone loves sports as a great distraction. But that's all it is. It's a great distraction. I've witnessed this. I've seen this firsthand. There's a lot of when there's a big game, there's a lot of break-ins, a lot of home invasions, a lot of burglaries. When there's a big game, when there's a big fight, the Super Bowl, etc. Because everyone is glued and hypnotized to the fucking TV. Nobody sees who else is in the room with them. People, I've seen it myself. People walk out the front door with a bicycle or another TV from another room or a laptop. Don't even notice. They wave by. They say, bye, take it easy. I've seen it happen, man. So always keep your eyes open and watch when you interact with people. Just observe how they react to the questions the standard questions you ask them, and that's where you know where their mindset is, where they're at in their life. Times are changing, man. Everything's changing all around us. The people are changing. Just a bunch of everything and everyone's changing all around us. People, there's storm clouds on the horizon. I was having a conversation with some buddies of mine at work, and now we're not wealthy people. The people I work with we're not even rich. We're just everyday people like the rest of y'all. You know, I was having a conversation with my buddies. The topic came up about the holiday. You know, Christmas coming up, and he was telling me that he doesn't have his Christmas tree up because he can't afford it. I'm like, bro, we make pretty good money. What the fuck you mean you can't afford it? He's like, nah, man. You know, he gets his salary, plus he's got like $400 in insurance. His insurance, you know, your insurance comes out after taxes, so he's got $400 off the top just for fucking insurance, which is medical, vision, dental, etc. And it doesn't really leave much of his check for, you know, after bills for whatever else he's got left to cover. I mean, we get paid every 2 weeks, so, you know, you gotta stretch it out as much as you can. And then, you know, we got on the topic of why the fuck do we work so hard and stress so hard every day to make our paycheck to cover our bills and whatnot, and nothing's fucking secure, so you stress and you worry about that shit, right? You work and excuse me. You work, you stress, you hustle, and you lay awake at night worrying about your bills and shit like that. And then we got to talking about who the rich people really are. Rich people are people that don't have to worry about money, don't have to worry about rent, their bills, or anything like that. So it used to be a time the guy in the Benz, the guy in the BMW with a nice suit, you know, you went to college, you worked hard, you sacrificed, you had a business, you busted your ass, and, you know, you eventually, you worked hard at it, you had a good product, you were a good salesman or whatever, you made it, you know, you got a little bit ahead in life, where you didn't have to worry about your bills, your life, your car note, your groceries, whatever. Your future was secure. Nowadays, I mean, shit changed. Nowadays, there's nothing secure. The only thing that's secure is be grateful you just made your 40 hours. Be grateful you just made your 80 hours. Be grateful you just made your car note, your rent, you know. And nowadays, you got to be grateful and thankful for the shit that you used to take for granted back in the day, like being able to pay my light bill, being able to pay my car note, etc., etc. So going back to the topic, which is the rich nowadays. People that are on welfare are fucking rich. They don't have to worry about where their rent money comes from. They don't have to worry about where the light bill is gonna be paid, whether they're gonna have groceries next week or not. They don't have to worry about that shit. Why? Because it's people like me, you guys, we go out, we bust our ass 40, 60, 80 hours a week. And then get our shit cut off the top. We have to pay for our own fucking insurance. They don't, I mean, people on welfare, you get fucking WIC, Medicaid, Medicare, all that shit, you know, chips. You get all that shit for free. I wouldn't say free because, you know, it comes out of my paycheck, comes out of your paycheck, comes out of my wife's paycheck, comes out of your wife's significant other's paycheck. So nothing's, you know, tensions is gonna get really high here pretty soon. It's just more than just one or two people at my job that don't have a Christmas tree because they can't afford the $60-$80 to go get the Christmas tree and the decorations and all the other shit for it. You know, so that's a bummer right there. So I mean, tensions are gonna start getting really, really bad here, you know, around the country here pretty soon, because it's gonna be a real. I mean, people's personal opinions about people on welfare, etc. They don't think really highly of them to begin with. But when it comes down to it, to where if you look around, I mean, if you just happen to drive by a welfare social services office anywhere in your town, you don't see a bus stop right in front. Look at that. You don't see a bus stop right in front of the welfare office. You don't. You see a parking lot. And in that parking lot, you see fucking Escalades, you see brand new pickup trucks, you see brand new SUVs. All of them got rims, all of them got nice systems, leather, wood grain, all that nice shit in it. Those aren't the people that work there. Those nice trucks belong to the people receiving the welfare. Because there are little loopholes and little back alley, backdoor deals and dealerships all around the country that don't require ID, don't require proof of income. If you have your welfare checks, your welfare stubs and whatnot, those constitute as income. People I know making $40,000, $50,000 a year on salary still receiving welfare. So you get your regular salary, $40,000, $50,000 a year, plus you're getting about 50 or 60 with welfare per year. You're making $100,000. You're the rich people, man. Fuck me. Some people, take pride. It used to be the time when I was growing up. I know. Oh man, I know. Fuck, so and so's family's doing bad. They're on welfare. Oh man, you can't hang around them. They're on welfare. They might think we're poor people too, and we're on welfare. I mean, that's how the way we grew up, Nowadays, man, it's fucking cool. Hey man, I got welfare. I got WIC. I got EBT card, whatever. But what do you do for a living? Man, I don't do shit. I get whatever from the government. I've seen people. I've witnessed people doing this. I've seen people, witness people plan out kids and pregnancies for themselves to have another kid, just so have it in time for tax season, to get that extra tax break, to get that additional welfare, all those benefits. Plus, this is something that is real bad in the minority community, where teen pregnancy is generational. The grandma got pregnant at I have a friend of mine. She's 33, 34 years old. Is a grandmother already. Man, I remember when I was a kid, everybody had a gray-haired grandma. Everybody. And nowadays, you're at the club and you see your grandma. What the fuck? What's this country going to? But, I've seen it happen where it's the mother, the grandmother gets pregnant with the child. Their daughter gets pregnant, or their son gets pregnant with the child. Then they have 2 newborns in the household. Welfare isn't judged or granted by the individual. It's judged by the household. So say you have, this happens a lot in the Hispanic community. You have 2-3 generations of people living under the same roof. Your grandmother, so what we have is multi-generations living under the same roof. Your grandma is your dad, your mom, maybe an uncle or 2. Yeah. Maybe an uncle or 2. And then yourself, maybe you have a kid too. The trick to the welfare with that is welfare is granted to kids. There's an age limit, believe it or not. There's an age limit to welfare, to, food stamp, shit like that. I think it's like 5 or 6. And you get more money with a little baby, a small little tiny infant and toddler, than you do with a grown kid, like 10, 12 years old. So what happens is, people have one kid, and then they'll get those major benefits, and then once the kid gets close to that age of being to that threshold, they have another 1 or 2 kids in between there. Say the kid's 5, the next little baby is say 3, one, whatever. So pretty much kids that are below the age of 6, people may get $800, $1,000 a month in food stamps each. Well, I know that's how it is here in Texas. From what I've experienced, I've never been on food stamps or welfare like that. And so that's the trick. And if you say, you happen to be a teen mom or you have a kid, that gets pregnant as a teenager. Excuse me. Not only do they get the food stamp, the WIC, and all that shit, and the welfare like that, but in many states, there's also an allowance, an amount of funds that's allowed for daycare. So what they do is they have because if you get unemployment, you're not working, whatever, your welfare, all you have to do is say that your mom or your dad or somebody else responsible there in your home is watching the child, and you have them right, and they get, under that same household, they get that same child care credit or whatever it's called per child. Now you multiply that 4, 5, 6 plus another member of the household gets their 2 or 3 kids in right there, so that's $1,200, $1,500, $1,600 a week for fucking child care cash that stays inside the house. Plus you got your food stamps, plus you got your health insurance, your Medicaid, Medicare, CHIPS, WIC, whatever alphabet soup you want to call it. I don't know about you guys, but that shit definitely pisses me off that I've got to drive fucking 60 miles one way to work, 60 miles back home every day. It takes me about an hour and some change one way to get to work. I'm sacrificing my time, my effort, my fucking gas, wear and tear on my vehicle, so these freaking lowlifes can sit at home and just punch out kids working at a system, working through the loopholes of the system. Now I've been asked before many times, why do so many people dislike or hate people on welfare? Oh man, well you people are just jealous because we figured out the system. We figured it out. No. I don't know, me personally, I don't feel jealous with people on welfare. I know a lot of people in my family that cheat in the system like that, which is why I know these little things, these inside things. I'm not jealous of them. I get repulsed. I get physically ill and pissed off. I can't even be in the same room with them. Why? Because everything they say and everything they do, oh, my check, my this, my that. And people, they say that you're not, you can't buy beer, you can't buy cigarettes, you can't buy tattoos with welfare money and whatnot. If you ever notice, a lot of us preppers, a lot of people in general, have tattoos. If you've ever noticed, just drive around anywhere in your town, whatever town you're at, look at these tattoo parlors. You just drive through the front window, through the storefront. You'll see apparel. You'll see T-shirts. You'll see wallets. You'll see cell phone cases. You'll see backpacks, belts, shit like that, tennis shoes. There's a reason why that shit's in there. It's not because people enjoy their artwork and it's not because they're the best artists or whatever. Of course, people enjoy art, so that's probably what it is. What it is when someone goes in and they want a tattoo. Hey man, all I got is my welfare card, my ABT card. All right, no problem. We'll just ring up 5 pairs of blue jeans, 5 pairs of shoes and shirts, and it works out evenly or close enough to what the price of the tattoo would cover. And it goes through and it doesn't raise up any red flags because it doesn't come up as so-and-so tattoo company or so-and-so's tattoo shop. It rings up as Joe Schmo's fucking apparel and shoes or Joe Schmo's apparel, which is perfectly legal. You can buy it with your welfare checks. is within the guidelines. You can buy your clothes, your kids' clothes and shoes with your welfare EBT card like that. And it's the same when they go into these convenience stores. They you buy 2 or 3 cartons of smokes a week, but the guy behind the counter rings up, 8 milks, and so you've got on the electronic report, it shows 8 1-gallons of milk, but yet but that person walks out with a case of beer, 2 cases of beers, or cartons of smokes, whatever, and that's how they get around the system. Now, all this is just the tip of the iceberg. Shit happens like this all the time. Stay tuned. Video sponsors and comments. Please feel free. Longhorn Prepper. Take it easy.